Welcome back to another episode of the How'd I Get Here podcast, the podcast for positivity, progression, and finding your own path. It's your co-host, Mr. Brown Broken Guapo, 10 toes down, big head up. I got a hat on because I need a haircut. Go buy a shirt, a t-shirt. What up?
Ooh.
Wow. It's Tuesday. So you know what that means. We here with it.
Yeah.
Back at it again. Can finally say it. It's been a while. But
Taco Tuesday.
is that still a thing?
It's every Tuesday.
Is it? Just always?
Yeah.
Hands down? Forever?
I mean, still somebody change it.
Oh.
Tequila Tuesday, cool too. Taquito Tuesday.
I was like, what about Taquito Tuesday? I hope everybody celebrated in some way Cinco de Drinko. And, you know.
Do we know what we actually celebrate Cinco de Mayo for?
I do, but I don't think everybody else does, and it has now become like the Latinx themed St. Patty's Day holiday. And businesses have profited off the day tremendously. As all capitalistic things do.
Yeah.
So what is it? Like, what is it for? Because I got no idea. Like, when I made that joke yesterday, like,
Oh.
I didn't know it was so on point.
I thought you was being funny.
I was, but
But you also just didn't know.
facts.
Oh. So, when I learned about Cinco de Mayo, I learned... Type's gonna get up. I learned that it was... bless you. It was a day that is one of, like... Just like this day specifically is a special day, but... Oh, now he got beef with himself. It was a day of just honoring the heritage and the history of what happened on that day. But I also feel like I'm mixing up that day with another day.
You might be, because
So-
something actually happened that day.
I know something actually happened that day, but I also know there's the Day of the Dead that people also...
I thought that was Halloween.
It's their Halloween.
Yeah,
like,
basically. But like how they have you seen the movie Coco?
Yeah.
Come on, big dog.
Is that the one that we don't talk about Bruno?
No.
No, that's Encanto.
That's Matilda. I'm playing.
No, that's Encanto.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I haven't seen. Oh, I'm waiting to watch Coco with somebody.
This nigga.
Well, now I do after you say shit like that. Damn.
Yeah, Brooklyn, you gotta bleep that part out.
Facts.
My bad. My bad. Just give me a bleep. That's...
Let me see. 308.
Yeah, I talk too
304.
much. Yeah, you know I talk too much. My bad, y'all. I get excited.
Equal opportunity.
But yes, if you should definitely watch Coco with said person or without, if you feel inclined to do so, because it's a great movie. But in that movie, they show a lot of like reference of the Day of the Dead and when they honor their loved ones that have gone on to like the afterlife and how they have certain like, I don't want to call them rituals, but practices that they do within the culture to honor them. So, but on Cinco de Mayo, though, a specific event happened on May 5th, and I forget of what year. So let's look it up real quick.
1862.
Okay.
Mexicans celebrate their army's victory over the French forces
Yes, there we go.
on Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
Nice.
So I feel like you can compare Cinco de Mayo to how we celebrate our Independence Day. Well, as in American celebrate Independence Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
It's a
I
celebration.
just take that free PTO day. I don't do nothing.
You didn't have to work yesterday?
Oh, no, not sorry. I meant for Independence.
I was like, damn, they gave you
I mean,
Cinco
I
de
worked
Mayo.
from home, so I basically didn't really have to do much.
Nah, she was working all day, real hard.
Hard.
Yeah. Every work from home day is a work hard day.
You right. I earned my keep and then some.
My boss was like, "Yo, Fridays, you just gotta stay checked in until like 4:30." What? Like you want like for what?
The earliest we could ever log off is 2:30. Nothing earlier.
Shit, not me. I be at work logged off.
When you get it.
Yeah.
He said log in, wait 2 minutes, log out.
And I'm out. Yeah.
Bro, what? I be working hard.
Yeah. But actually, no, I was working hard because I actually passed my quality management. So now I get my own office and whatnot now for my work. So, yeah.
Let's go. I'm about to go visit Ash in the oficina.
You actually could. We could get lunch.
Bet. Summertime, I'm off.
I don't want people to know where I work.
Oh my bad. We got a lot of shit we gotta cut out.
Yeah. I'm glad it's not just me today. I was like, yo, she forgot where she work all the time.
I was like, is this a is this a bad joke? I got so annoyed.
I did see your face. I'm looking at you like this nigga.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Anywho, where I work does have great food and it's very reasonably priced, surprisingly to the common man. But no, I still keep to my roots of meal prepping and bringing lunch. I will sometimes go to the Starbucks and get a little drinky drink if I need one.
Starbucks been taking my money lately.
Yeah, but I've been like in abundance of just getting these gift cards.
Must be nice.
I went to my friend's baby shower and I got a gift. I won a gift card playing a game, and then I went to Renee's baby shower and I got a gift card there when I played a baby game. So, if you's having a baby soon, invite me to your baby shower. Make sure you got the baby shower meatballs, because if you don't, I'm walking out.
And mac and cheese to go.
Yeah, and let me win a free gift card. Thank you.
Please and thank you. Word.
That was my intro.
It's your boy Spence, King Aquarius. It's the 20% photo. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm exhausted. Like, I just recently acquired a puppy. Old boy has been running me ragged. Like,
Not the acquired.
yeah, he just be up all the time and he gotta go out. But love him to death. Anybody who's looking to get a puppy, make sure you prepare yourself. Mentally, physically, spiritually.
I also might know
Don't
a guy
forget
selling them.
financially.
I got a finder's fee. Yeah, you said your dude had like 5 more dogs.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna add 500 on top of that and send them his way.
Hey, yo.
So yeah, they $2,000. Like,
Not you being the middleman. He's like, yeah, you need help transporting him? I got you. An
matter
extra
of fact,
$500
I'll get the dog for you. It's fine.
Right. And I'll drive him there to your location for a $500 fee.
Right. But yeah, so we here though. And it's beautiful out. Like, it's starting to, like, it's 7 something, and am I not supposed to say the time? No, I'm joking. It's 7 something. It's still light out, beautiful. It like hit me with the okie doke. So
Big facts.
with that being said, we're gonna jump into the question of the day.
Question of the day.
And to be
Forget
honest,
these allergens, though.
oh yeah. Sorry for all the people who are allergic to pollen. It's a tough year for y'all.
It's the worst year of allergies by far.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, like, last year was because they were planting too many trees that produced flower pollinating products. And now this year it's because of global warming and climate change that now, because the temperatures are increasingly high and quicker, like it's getting warmer quicker now, it's causing the very highly pollinated like flowers to bloom earlier and earlier now. So that means they're like almost overproducing pollen now. So even if you were never allergic, a lot of people have started becoming allergic. So,
They're
just
like
take care of yourself.
They're like the Puerto Rican women of flowers. You know how they're
Excuse me?
like really
Oh, they fertile?
Fertile. Yes. Thank you for finishing that.
They
for
be
me.
getting pollinated.
Yeah.
No, not pollinated. What is it called?
you was on the right track.
When bees. What's that called?
Are you talking about the pollination cycle?
Yeah. Oh yeah, pollinated was right.
Yeah,
okay,
stick
it didn't
with
feel
it.
right.
No. You
But
were thinking
it
about
was.
something else.
You're a little nasty. So what's the question of the day? Question of the day.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. The question of the day is a little redundant and repetitive. If
Could
you've been on,
100 gorillas beat?
literally, because I'm like, I've really been thinking about it. Because there's some people who think that they can beat a gorilla, and me, one of the few humans closer to a gorilla size, I'm just saying, like, we're getting smoked.
So we had this conversation at work the other day, right? And I need to preface this by I would never hit a kid, right? But
This already sound crazy.
well, no, because right, like, just
Gotta
like
add in how to get here podcast does not condone abuse of
Let me
children.
preface, I would never hit a kid.
right.
Okay.
So we just said like you are close to the size of a gorilla,
Yeah.
right? So we did okay. Could we humans be the gorilla? And then for reference, we said, all right, take 100 fourth graders, right,
Yeah.
attacking me. Like that's probably the equivalent to like me attacking 100 me's attacking a gorilla.
That's real.
That's why I had to like preface before I explained. And my thing was like, if I were to hit a fourth grader, right, he's not getting up.
Yeah.
If a gorilla takes a swing, you're not getting up.
And the strength comparison isn't even close.
Right. And on top of it, right, like say a gorilla go like this and smack me, I'm flying and hitting like 5 other people.
Or your head's just coming right off.
Right. Yeah. So you get what I'm saying? So that's where it's like, I would like to think like 100 John Jones, you know, one get on, maybe someone throws something like a towel on his face, then they get on his back. Cool. But like, I've been teetering with this. I don't think 100 anybody's.
So I think just like people and the psychology of man, of the 100, 30 of them are out. Like 30 of them are leaving because they're gonna see the first 10 or 20 get massacred.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm all right. So like a cool 30% is out. And you also got to think there's only so much surface area on a gorilla to get. So like,
what are we all just jumping on? And
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to pile on top of each other. Like, and then what? Like, you're still not. The people who are down there are getting bit and ripped apart, and it's just going to be a slow death. Like,
But also, too, like, people also don't realize for a gorilla's size, like, they're also very quick. Like, they're very fast. So, as quickly as you think you're trying to, like, run, also, I feel like a lot of people want to try to run at the gorilla, like, head on. It's like, why would you do that?
and the thing is, you're unarmed. So, like, no weapons.
And who's going to be the first person to attack said gorilla?
The first 10, because they're like, it's literally like the military. Like, all right, yo, we throwing y'all out there first. We know
Somebody's gotta
we
do
know y'all
it.
getting mowed down, but it's like, yeah, that's tough. So I don't think it's happening. And like, I'm thinking of John Jones. He's not big enough. Like, who's the like, yeah, John Jones is a big dude, but like, this is against other humans. Who's the is his name Francois or something?
Francis Ngannou.
Like, we need that type of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need
100 of them.
100 hymns. I don't even know if, like, what football, like, you would have to have
100 James Harrisons.
Yeah.
100 Warren Sapps.
Right. 100 Ray Lewises. You know what I'm saying? Like, 100 Ray Lewises, maybe. But like, I just don't see it happening. Ash, what do you think?
Yeah, no, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. There could be 10 thousands of people and just like, nope. It's a no for me.
Yeah.
So then what amount of people do you think would be the gorilla?
I don't think, because again, you can only grab so much.
Unarmed at will? Oh, if it's unarmed,
it's clips. Or one Tarzan, because Tarzan beat Kerchak.
Right, I was like, is Tarzan in there? Is he our second draft if the first draft of hundreds of people don't go well?
Yeah, because like Tarzan put Kerchak on a rear naked choke and choked him out, because that's real.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, I don't think, I wouldn't want to watch that.
Yeah.
He's ripping my arm
Remember
off.
that chimpanzee? Matter of fact,
Yeah.
Context. Remember that chimpanzee that attacked the crazy white lady out?
Why is she crazy?
Because why you got a pet chimpanzee? Like, I don't want to say you deserved it, but
I don't think she was crazy. Like, I think she was.
yeah, honestly, you about to get fired, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, you making me so
Like,
nervous. Keep knocking into things.
You was real cool last week, but today,
He comfy. That's the problem.
yeah,
I owe you a softball.
But
I use that to stretch my hamstrings. Be all right.
Honestly, get him another one of those. Because he's going to be determined to get through that one, and he's going to need another one to replace it.
Yeah, I got one upstairs.
But I don't think she was necessarily crazy because did y'all see Nope?
Yeah.
And they referenced like that.
I was so
woman.
confused by that movie.
Really?
Which one's Nope? Is that the one in the field?
Yeah, with Kiki.
Keke Palmer and the alien and
dude from Black Panther?
yes.
Okay. I saw it. I fell asleep.
Oop.
I fell asleep and I woke up like, oh shit.
I remember
okay.
being in the theaters like, what did? And mind you, I love Jordan Peele's movies.
Yeah, like at first it was hard to like grasp in the beginning, but like as the movie progressed, like it did tie together at the end and it did make sense. But like I think the overall theme of like what I got with that movie is just the fact of like even the sense of entitlement and empowerment that she felt like trying to control something that wasn't meant to be controlled. Like she was trying to control that chimp, and at one point that chimp was like, no, like you're not going to control me.
Crazy white lady. You were crazy to think you can control what should be a wild animal.
I mean, do we then say that white people were crazy to think they could control black people?
Yes.
Because I feel like that
it worked out
Right.
right. I feel like that was also like an underlining tone that I got from that as well too. Because
I gotta go back and watch this movie because I missed all those points.
It was deep. We can watch it together.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So we were discussing earlier, work from home. Work, how hard we work. And we are entrepreneurs.
I don't know why this popped into my head, but y'all remember that episode of South Park where he's like, "Master's got me working."
Bro, I'm about to be at work tomorrow saying that. That's crazy.
Sorry.
No, it's on brand because we're all entrepreneurs and I think we all hope to lead the life of working for ourselves to a full capacity. But in the meantime, we do have to work for other people. And yes, it's a means to an end, but I think there's certain ways to go about working and existing and thriving in professional environments.
Agreed. I think to that point as well, I feel like a lot of people almost believe, well, not almost, I feel like people do believe that they have to convert parts of themselves or sell parts of themselves away in order to be, I feel like, almost comfortable or successful in certain professional settings in order to like fit in, just to like get by, where I'm just like, no, like you should never feel like you have to be one way at work and lose part of yourself authentically to conform to whatever you feel like you need to conform to at work.
So it's interesting you say that because I agree. And I was going to ask you, how does one maintain their professionalism while maintaining their, personality? And I really can't answer that because the way I carry myself at work, you look at me and be like, yeah, that nigga's wildin'. Like everything he do the opposite. Right. But it's because I will not, like you were saying, conform to professional expectations or allow you to tell me how to behave. If there's something that I don't agree with, I'm going to tell you. You know what I mean? In a lot of workplaces, people will get fired or are afraid to speak up because they think they'll get fired, Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think that, so to like kind of back it up a little bit, I think that sense of culture also stems from the type of leadership that is in that professional setting. Like, I think good leaders understand and realize and know how to create a successful work environment that can thrive autonomously. You like that word?
I do.
Yeah, that was a big word. Big word for Elmo. Go Elmo, go me. And that I think once they've learned that equation, that it just works. And then they realize, like, I don't have to micromanage. I don't have to do all these other things to get the same results as how other people feel like, no, like, I have to be this very, like, authoritative, dictative way and just micromanage the hell out of you. Like, my last jobs that I held before this one, they were all very, like, micromanaged environments. And I'm just a type of person, like, I cannot be micromanaged because I don't need to be micromanaged. And I've worked with people who thrive being micromanaged because they just don't have a sense of direction or just know how to kind of, like, take feedback and then lead themselves into, like, getting the job done, which I'm like, that just says a lot about your problem solving skills, and they're piss poor. But, yeah, I think it stems from a little bit of that, but then also going into it of, you know, a lot of other things. Like, I think representation is also really important in professionalism too. And if you're not feeling comfortable seeing people that look like you, then that also could play into why you may feel like you can't speak up or you can't be more of yourself. And not to say, like, you know, there are the do's and the don'ts of, like, how you're supposed to act in just overall etiquette and culture of, like, how you act at work is not going to be how you act with your friends. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean that, like, you still can't, like, laugh, you can't joke around, and you can't still...
There's just a line.
Yeah, and, you know, like, and that's why, like, we have, like, all these things within, like, HR and those things to help also... It's like the checks and balances to make sure, like, things aren't going to one way or the other. But I think I'm sorry, y'all. The way Asta just got shoved, she was just like, excuse me. But yeah, I think, like, when people also have those things, they then learn how to really thrive and be successful at it. But when they lack those things and then they don't know how to get it themselves. Ooh. Austin. Oh, you want to get that, Brooklyn? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, bro, you fired next week. Oh. I could tell he got his paws on that already.
Yeah, he broke it.
Yeah. Those shoes?
He broke the shoe.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, they were already broken.
Oh.
This is why I wore those outside.
I thought he previously broke them.
I thought he just did that just now. I was like, damn.
Nah.
Team shop. But anywho, I think, like, going back to those points, like, those are all, like, really important things. And I think when we talk about, like, the do's and don'ts of professionalism and how you can fully thrive in those spaces. But yeah, I think there is a way you can still have both. How you go about navigating that is up to you. But I always say, like, it is very much possible and doable. But I think also too, like, you have to within yourself carry a sense of confidence and security of knowing, like, who you are and, like, how that is for you should also be unwavering.
I think that part right there is important because I don't want to work at a place, one, that I can't be myself, but two, that doesn't coincide with, like, my actual morals and beliefs and character.
Right.
You know? So to that, like, to what you were saying is, like, I should be able to just show up as me because I know that who I am is already accepted here and it aligns with certain things. And when it doesn't, I'm going to speak up on it and you're not going to be surprised because that's who you knew that's who you were getting. Right.
And I feel like, too, it's funny when, you know, employers say, like, they're looking for certain things in an employee. Right. Then it doubles back to the question of, like, are you really? Because I think they say one thing and then when you get the job, then it's almost a complete switch up of, like, well, now, did you really want that type or those characteristics in an employee that I also exude? But the way it is exuded may look differently from what preconceived, like, notion you already had in your head of what you were going to get, what you were going to expect. Because that even, I mean, we could probably talk about it a little bit later, but I think that even just speaks a lot to, especially when it comes to just people of color, and even just speaking like as a black woman, and especially like being a black woman in corporate now, I feel like there's always this lens put on people, especially like black women. Like, you always have to be like on top of your game because someone's always looking at you to critique something. The same thing with black men as well too, but I think like black women get it a little bit more, especially when they also like work in certain fields that, you know, maybe, or just women in general, like if they work in more male dominated fields, or just like fields where it's not easily expected for them to be excelling as far as they may have or are doing in their fields, that they're always like very looked at like under a microscope of just like, they always have to be friendly, they always have to be conversative, like, and it's like sometimes I don't want to always have a conversation, and it shouldn't be then labeled as like, oh well, now she's standoffish, or like now, you know, she's not as friendly, or she's not engaging with the work body, because, you know,
she's not work friendly.
Yeah, because, you know, sometimes now I feel like employers are looking at that.
She's
like
the mean black lady in cubicle 227.
But yeah, so like I think people need to always just understand too, like what you said about like feeling like what they believe in and like their morals, and finding that in a job. You may not always find that right away either, and that is okay. But if there is something that resonates with you, that you can then find that to be like your why, then I think that's also important too, to say like, I know this job, because that's also a big thing too, but like, is this a job for you, or is this a career? And like,
that's something very important to talk about.
Yeah, like we could kind of like push into that next, but like I think that's really huge too, when I hear so many people like frustrated about like where they're at and they're not always getting the things that they want. It's like, okay, well, is this a job for you, or is this a career? Because like, if you're looking at a job with career mindset, then this job may not be feeding that career mindset, and you need to adapt and change. And like you said, like, go then to somewhere that will give you what you're looking for. But also, you know, like sometimes you have to climb the ladder. Like, you're going to get into a few jobs that you don't like, but also keeping the back of your mind, like, I know this is not a forever, and like, I want to get to the next point. And if this may open a door for me, I'm going to utilize that. Like, I've always told people, like, you have to use these jobs for your own success, and not let these jobs use you for their success.
And that's the thing. A job always going to care more about themselves than they are for you.
Right.
A job,
if they could easily find a new person for your spot
and probably pay you for pay them less.
Right. Like, who's caring more than in those situations?
Use your PTO days, y'all.
Yes.
Use your PTO days.
I was going to bring that up next too. Like, we need to use the PTO. If you got PTO, don't always feel like you have to save it for like a long week trip or 2 weeks off in the summer. Like, give yourself those Mondays off, or the extra like weekend starting from Friday. Like, give yourself that time, because you need it, one. And two, I feel like a lot of these jobs now aren't allowing, because you know how you used to be able to, or some jobs still do, you used to be able to take the time with you when you left. A lot of jobs aren't doing that anymore. Like, they're saying like you could leave, but then they're like, okay, we're gonna take that time back as you go.
Yeah,
they're not gonna like pay you out for it.
Let's circle back to like what you were saying with the career versus a job, especially because, you know, our demographic being young professionals, I feel like a lot of people don't actually know what their career is.
Right.
You know, and first of all, that's okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people, like, I stumbled into my career or what I want to be my career, but if I look back, everything that I did leading up to where I am now contributed to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think a lot of times as you get older, when you first get out of college, you might find that first job that's in your field and just pays the bills or whatever.
Right.
But you're going to jump around. And
Yeah.
like there's nothing wrong with that. And the older you get, you're going to take things from different places, from each place, and be like, I like this, I didn't like this. I'm doing this in my free time. I like that.
Right.
And find what you want to make your career. But your career is long lasting. It's going to be what feeds you internally, like spiritually and financially. Whereas a job, we all right now are working jobs just to fucking get to where we need to be.
Yeah.
Especially like, hell yeah.
Nah.
You don't think that's you?
I don't think I think it's a job and then there's your passion. Like a career is a fancy word for a job. Like, because most of the time most people's career is working for someone else anyway. So it's a job. Regardless, the impact or how you feel about it, like you don't make the final decision on anything. Like you are
Depending where you are.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, you're an employee. Like you don't really have much. Most people don't have much stake in the game where they're at. Like I think if you want to find a job, be comfortable, like pay the bills and maybe make a difference, cool. But if you really want to like find your passion, then that's typically working for yourself or working with like-minded individuals, accomplishing a similar goal.
Or being a higher up, right? I mean, I don't really know what that looks like. I've not really been in the...
I'm just like, so like you work in a school system, like your principal doesn't have much say in shit. You know
Trust me,
what I'm
I've learned that.
Right? So like they're a glorified...
the Board of Ed.
They're a glorified task manager. You know what I'm saying? Like...
They're a chess piece.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like respectfully, you know what I mean?
Literally politicians, like the president, like these are people just put in positions because they want a popularity vote or like they have certain credentials or prerequisites or like their resume just looks great. So like, hey, we're going to put you in this position.
You look good.
Yeah, but like we're honestly like we're pulling all the strings on the back end. Like we just need you to be the face. We're handling it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's tough when I was just listening to y'all talk about that. And I guess my question is like, if y'all are running an establishment, because you know you're telling people take your PTO, which you should, like it's earned to you, like take it, and obviously the job, like the whole point of the job is, hey, I have something that I'm trying to accomplish and I need to hire people and compensate them to get it done. However that gets done is like, you know, that's up to the leadership and that's up to like the model and the mission statement. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you run a business, I would love it if people loved coming to work. But at the end of the day, I also need certain things done. And if you know how to do it and you want to get compensated a certain amount for it, just fucking do it. You know, like I feel like people, that's the difference between like a job, career, and your passion. You know what I'm saying? Like you're passionate about something. So like I go to work. I work extra hours because, you know, fuck the money. I just want to get this done because it feels good. Whereas if you're just working for someone, it's like, hey, that's cool, but I hired you to do this. As a matter of fact, let's look at your job description. I hired you to do X, Y, and Z. That's cool. You want to do all this other shit, but I hired you to do this. However you get it done, however you feel getting it done, I don't give a fuck.
See, but that's not always true.
No, it's not. But like, if people wanted to, that's just the fact of the matter. Like, if you get hired at Walmart, like you know what your job is. If you get hired at McDonald's, you know what your job is. If you get hired at Travelers selling insurance, that's what I do. Like, I sell insurance. So I think I don't want to like mislead people and like, hey, listen, like, you know, get a job that may turn into a career and then you can feed your family. Like, that's phenomenal. I think you should do that. But if you want to find something that you're passionate about, like, money really doesn't matter because it's fulfilling you. And you know what I'm saying? Your soul to go to every day. So and I hate corporate. So that's what I'm saying.
So I guess for like, so I'll backtrack. For me personally, like how I think of and embody like the words like job and career, like when I'm in my career, like I'm doing what I'm passionate about. I'm not working for anybody but myself. And like, yes, money isn't the root of everything because if you're passionate about it, like it doesn't matter. But I think also the society that we're living in today, like they have very strategically always made it about money at the end of it because you still need money to
survive.
get your things in order to live that life, in order to fuel whatever that passion is that you're continuously doing. So for me personally, like, my career is my passion and like what I'm passionate about, and still able to better the community in doing that. But again, that's not to say like it's different for everybody else, but
yeah, I mean that's your definition. I just think like the average person, just like by like numbers, like most people, they will like my job, they try to spin it as like, don't think of this as a job, this can be a career, which is cool. Like it could be a career, but like, who wants to be a career like senior account salesperson at Verizon?
I mean, some people do though. Like you said before,
they're passionate about the
if
sell,
that's what they're
the
passionate
grind.
about, and like that's what they want to do. Like then that is what you see it as. You like this is all very much like subjective language, and everything that we're talking about is subjective because it's what you as the individual interpret it as, and what you again feel that you're passionate about and what you care for. Because I too look at some people, I'm just like, I don't see how that could be fulfilling,
like Wall Street
doing
people
that for 30 plus years and even still doing it. I'm like, I don't see how that is. But again, it doesn't resonate with me, doesn't mean that it doesn't resonate at all.
No, I feel that. I get it.
It's like someone on Wall Street. They get the thrill. They enjoy going in there. They could be passionate about that. You know what I'm saying? But that just, for me, just wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't.
There's also like in comparison, because okay, so like teachers are actually the best example. People who like, I guess the ones who really like dove into their craft and like did the best they could to be the best teacher. Like you have to be passionate to be a teacher because compensation's not there, right? So
Which is nuts.
Yeah, so like for something like that, I get it. But like you mentioned Wall Street, bro, like yeah, like it's not passion. It's not. It could be like a thrill, like adrenaline, excitement. But like some of those dudes make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a couple hours.
Right.
Like that would get anybody a little antsy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
They're like, I ain't used to this before.
Yeah,
it's nice.
because there's people who are professional gamblers who literally like they make a living by going to casinos and gambling.
Yo, come on the show, teach me, cause damn, that should be nice.
Yeah, because y'all ever watch the
21?
No,
Molly's Game?
No.
Shut up, nigga.
I forget what the league is called, but it's literally a league where people competitively compete in poker.
Oh, the World Texas, yes, Texas Hold'em.
Yes.
You know they're trying to get poker in the Olympics?
That's stupid.
Why?
That's not a sport.
It is
Not to what we just talked about.
right.
We just talked about it.
No. See, no.
We just talked about it.
What
is a sport.
What athletic ability does it take? Yes, sports. No, bro.
Yes.
No.
Is there a definition
It's a
of what's a
mental mind
sport?
game.
To
It's your
me,
definition, but
yes.
what's the real definition? You know what I'm saying?
Come on, go to the Googles. Go to the Googles.
Okay. Sport. Noun. An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment.
What physical exertion? Mental exertion.
Hold on. There's also the informal tense of it. A person who behaves in a good or specified way in response to teasing, defeat, or a similar trying situation. Or it's also a verb where you wear or display a distinctive or noticeable item.
Yeah.
I'm going to sport that shirt.
Or amuse oneself or play in a lively
Ashley got it. So
y'all wanted to interrupt me. I was finished.
Based on the first one, like your point, the physical exertion, them niggas be sitting in them chairs for 12 hours, bro.
Sweating.
Yeah.
That's no.
What you mean?
That doesn't take physical. Those seats are comfortable.
They're acting.
Is it comfortable?
Acting could. I don't know. Acting could be considered a sport.
No.
Why not?
There's physical exertion.
I
Especially the actors that do their own stunts and they don't have a stunt double.
I fuck Chan. With poker. Like when I was in college, we used to play Texas Hold'em every weekend. Mm-hmm. I bangs with it. It's not a sport.
It is.
I feel like you
is it like defined as it? Because I know they were trying to.
Like the Texas Hold'em?
Like poker, yeah, I guess.
Oh.
it's a competitive activity. That doesn't make it a sport. I feel like determining poker as a sport takes away from like athletes.
Sports.
Yeah, like takes away from people that actually.
So it's recognized as a mind sport by the International Mind Sports
Asterisks.
Association.
Yeah, feel me? Like you could put chess in that category.
So all I know is they were talking about it. They were thinking about making poker because it's a worldwide
Yeah, they
thing.
said
Yeah.
this recognition acknowledges
World Series of Poker. That's what you were.
Yeah, but they're saying that they recognize and acknowledge the strategic, intellectual, and psychological aspects of the game, placing it alongside disciplines like chess and esports.
Yeah.
I could get with that. It's not a sport among sports. It should not be in the Olympics.
I mean, there's a lot of shit on.
I was gonna say, I was like, if you feel like poker shouldn't be in the Olympics, I feel like then a lot of people could also combat that and say like poker should be in the Olympics, but then they should take out some of the other recent sports that they just added to.
I mean,
the Olympics.
breakdancing ain't had no business being in the last Olympics.
Oh, that was a flop.
Yeah.
That was the first
That
year.
was interesting.
So, how do y'all feel about dress attire at work?
What kind of job?
Yeah.
That's important because all three of us work three relatively different jobs,
Yeah.
right? Like I think y'all's is closer, but it's still different.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do
Right.
insurance. He does sales.
But
I'm not selling insurance. I'm just doing what I do with insurance.
so that's the thing. Whereas like the way I dress, I think if I walked into maybe y'all's jobs,
I wore that today.
Oh, for real?
I had the podcast hoodie on.
oh,
Yeah, I had a polo on under it, but like in my office, this is how I dress. Like someone just like recently was like, "Yo, what's good with that thing on your head? Like you have to take it off for that next meeting." I was like, "Why?" Like, it just has to look professional. But I was just like, I'm leading in sales and I've had it on the whole time. Like, what do you mean it's unprofessional?
right.
But I mean, I think it's definitely changed over the years. Like the
Dress code.
the dress code and the definition of professional. I've always gone against it because I think it's silly. Like what I wear
agree.
shouldn't matter. It's my intellectual capital. But at the end of the day, I mean, initial like first impressions matter.
Yeah, but I feel like that's also because we had to do a training about like biases and those things and how like you can have a bias of someone who is in like baggier clothing or like ripped clothing, like what's against the preconceived notion of what is professional and more like clean and tidy and very like put together. So because I'm like our work environment, it's business casual. Like people wear jeans, people wear polos, people wear sneakers. I was like, need some water?
Right.
Probably.
Like
it is warm in here.
no, if I was just it's hot. It's probably these lights. I think that a lot of like the predetermined like, hey, this is how you dress are based on very old narratives. But I do also think there's a way to carry yourself, and it ties into what we were saying about being comfortable with who you are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You
like,
should be able to still feel like you can express yourself.
right.
I always say like my biggest don't is like as long as your clothing is not revealing then
For me, it's about relatability. And I think, especially in our fields, we could speak to that. Because for me, I remember one time my principal was like, oh, like, why are you dressed like that? But essentially, like, you're really dressed down. And I was like, well, if I was to go talk to this student right now, who do you think they're going to be more comfortable talking to? The guy who's dressed in someone that kind of looks like them, or someone that's in a shirt and tie?
Like, yeah.
Right. You know, and I was like, someone that's dressed like you.
Yeah.
Like, take away the fact that you are a middle-aged white woman, right? Like, someone, and she was like, oh, me, I'm the principal. And a kid walked by, and I was legit like, yo, if you had something to talk about, who would you be more comfortable talking to? And they said me. And I'm sure there was more to it than just how I'm dressed.
Right.
But if I'm coming to you you know, as a salesperson, and I'm oh, this person looks comfy and blah blah blah, and the way they present themselves is with confidence. To me, how you dress really doesn't matter as long as, like Ash was saying, it's appropriate and not revealing.
So I have a question because I was trying to like run scenarios in my head of like how they could dress. So like you're still playing professional soccer, you hire a trainer. What could they be wearing like realistically that you just wouldn't take them serious?
One
dress like a goalie.
I was gonna say two things, and this is like not that I'm ever judging anybody, but if you are unfit as a physical trainer,
as my coach,
you know what I mean. Like
that's physical, like.
Yeah, but that's
talking about like
no. That's why I said like it's gonna sound fucked up, but like how you gonna train me, but you not fit?
He said you not training yourself.
I mean, but then even that, right? Soccer shorts are short. Mm-hmm. If you come to a soccer session with basketball shorts, I'm gonna look at you like, yo, actually I had a game on Sunday.
Yeah.
I had ankle socks on Sunday. Okay. Normally, whatever socks I have on, I just throw my boots on and play.
Okay.
And we got in the car and I was like, yo, I got ankle socks. I don't have long socks. And Shorty was like, okay. And I was just like,
I've never played soccer with ankle socks on.
Thank you. For the first 15 minutes of that game, I was like bothered.
Yeah.
Because
do you wear shin whatever?
No, not now. Now okay. I don't. And even when I played, my shin guards were like just that big.
Yeah. I feel like all the people that I know that play soccer like intensely of whatever level of competitiveness, they never wear those shin guards. I'm like, so then why do they have
They got smaller and smaller.
Yeah, like I get a kid small is the size that I wear. They're literally like this big.
Why do they make them?
But to your point, someone that would come in like another sports attire, like whenever
came in golf attire.
Yeah, you know, like if I'm coaching and I see a kid come in like,
you look like you were dressed for the wrong sport there, buddy.
Dressed for the wrong sport, I'm like, bro, you're not serious about this. I it's just personally.
So I mean, but you're my bad, but because you like work with inner city kids, so I gotta assume like they be showing up in basketball shorts and like oversized t-shirts.
Yeah, and I'm gonna work with you. Like I'm not saying, but I could.
I need this 3 sizes smaller.
It's not even that. You know how. No, but even realistically, right? What's easier to run and change direction in? Basketball shorts or soccer shorts?
Oh no, facts, yeah.
So there's little things that, and to your point, you might be an inner city kid, you might not be able to afford it, you might not know.
Yeah.
Right. But these are the little things that, as you develop in the sport, you see a difference.
So perception's a big thing, and that's what I was talking about. Like that first, your initial reaction to certain things is just like it really sets the tone. Unless you have like an overbearing personality and like you're super charismatic to like you can get past like this nigga's dressed crazy, like because I be in my meetings super casual, super relaxed. Like, I don't like they gave me a Verizon t-shirt and I took that as my uniform. I'm like, oh word, I got 2 of these. This is just what I'm gonna wear. He was like, yeah, you know you can wear whatever you want. I'm like, yeah. I personally I like rebelling against Verizon because they take themselves way more serious than they actually are. Like we're selling IT products. I don't need to wear a suit. Like I don't like
we good.
It's not that deep. And like the business owners, they not wearing suits. You know what I'm saying? So like to your point, relatability. Yeah. But it's just important, like that initial, unfortunately, like when my beard was very like scruffy and whatnot, I noticed I got a different response from people.
Interesting.
Yeah, like without, like they wouldn't say it, but I would notice. I'm like, yep, I can see.
You're doing it again.
Yeah, I can tell the difference. My bad, Ash. I cut you off like 3 times.
It's all right. Great dialogues being had, y'all. I was gonna say to your point of like the perception, I noticed that very quickly too with a lot of the higher ups at my company. They don't come dressed in 3-piece suits.
Nah,
they be the most dressed down.
They be the most. I'm telling you right now,
flip flops with their toes out.
Not even. I'm God forbid. Ooh. Sorry, that's a trigger for me. Because at my other job, there is this one guy that came to all the hockey games, and I know exactly where he got his button up from because I see it on the mannequins at H&M every time I walk into H&M. But it's the one mannequin button up or button down.
Wait, he wears the same thing though?
Honestly, I pray that it's not the exact same thing and he just has multiple of these, but it's like it's either the same button down shirt or it was like the same like polo shirt. The khaki shorts, like the real like Uncle Dad khaki shorts, those baggy ones with the extra baggy pocket at the end. And then flip flops, or he would wear like some type of like Birkenstock shoe with dress socks. And I'm like, bro, you're just sending me because like you don't got no other clothes, and also it's cold during the hockey games. I'm sorry, that just took me back to
bad times.
But I was gonna say though, like that perception is key though, because I think a lot of people, especially like in the field that I'm working in now, have realized like if they want people, i.e. the people that work for them, to also feel like they can be relatable to who they're working for, then they need to also understand from our level what it is like and understand those things that we go through and do and experience to not fully empathize with us, but also not to have sympathy either, because don't sympathize me. You can have compassion, but don't also feel like you have to sympathize, which then turns into like some weird pettiness. Not pettiness, pity.
Yeah.
But I think they've also learned too, because again, a lot of these people are middle-aged white men. And like, no offense, but all offense, like middle-aged white men like have always been like, look at it. We just look at y'all like, huh? Like you trying to relate with us and you look like that and you drive these cars
Good
and
try,
have
but
these
try
houses.
again, Paul.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
we don't need that. Like you all said. So I think they've also started learning better about themselves. Some, not all though, but it is important about that. Like perception can be someone's first reality or those things. But yeah, I think overall, I think the biggest don't is like, don't come looking crazy with things hanging out, things looking a mess. You not looking kept at least like.
So you know,
Go ahead.
no,
go ahead.
to that point, and this is when y'all know I have my feelings about Verizon, but this is like this go around. This is when I lost a lot of respect. I wore a suit during my interview. All three of my interviews wore a suit. I wore a suit the first day, and I was wildly overdressed. Like, yeah, it's gonna be the last time you wear that. So why the fuck did I have to interview in this? Like what was
Did you?
Huh?
Did you?
Have to interview in it?
Like,
Yeah.
do you feel you would have had a different outcome if you didn't? Like, maybe if you wore just a polo and some
like
slacks.
like some maybe dress shoes.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not even the type of person to risk it. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly,
I'm betting
that's-
100%.
that's
Every
a
interview I've had,
huge-
I've gotten a job.
That's a huge thing.
No, that's
too,
valid. That's valid.
because I feel like that perception is the biggest of them all when it comes to just like, if you want to talk about the beginning phases of like, I think we talked a lot about when you're in the job, but we also haven't talked about like when you are trying to get the job. There's a lot that goes into it too, because I've always dressed up more than I probably had to or needed to for job interviews. Because again, I think personally for me, yeah, that was weird. I think personally for me, I'm always go back to it, do a wraparound. I feel like as Black people, we have to always be doing like the extra mile or the extra something to, I feel like, have that negative perception of us immediately be like knocked away.
Yeah.
Because the first thing they're going to look at us and see is like, how are we dressed? How are we carrying ourselves? The next biggest thing is, how do we speak? How do we hold a conversation? Like that, I feel like is the hugest like two perceptions that are always the biggest targets on our back as people of color and Black people, because I feel like those are always like the quickest things people to try to knock us for. That's like, yeah, you always have to kind of feel like, no, like I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to make sure I look the part. And I make sure, like, you know, everything's, like, all good. And I hold myself a certain way.
So I have a philosophy behind it. And because every job I've gotten, like, I've always tried to figure, like, all right, what's the next role for me in this position? So I always dressed for the position I wanted, not the position I was getting. So I like me wearing a suit. Ideally, like if I was the CEO of a Fortune 100 company, 200 company, like I'm probably fairly like well dressed, you know, like I'm probably wearing a suit every day, at least like a shirt and tie, button up, or like business casual with like the button up, no tie type of thing. But again, it's like these people, to y'all's point earlier, like you're so easily replaceable. Like you're really just a cog in the system, just another number. So like, what's going to set you apart from the other person? Like the person who came dressed like a Jacob, you know, no shade, but like,
no,
like casual, like someone who would dress like Jacob as opposed to like someone who dressed like me. Cause we may have the same skill set. Like we may literally like have the same skills, same everything, but it's just like, I don't know, buddy came in a suit. Old boy came real relaxed. He came to an interview relaxed. Like, what's he going to dress like when he gets the job here?
Right.
You know?
And it's like, why are we looking at that versus as, if I flip it, homeboy in a suit don't know how to do his job at all.
But he looked good.
Right, he looked good, but he's been skating by his entire life. Or the person who come dressed a bit more laxed, and they feel like they're not taking it serious. They actually are a hard worker. They know what they're doing. They're excelling themselves, and they can get the job done twice as fast.
No, facts, but that initial perception, like they don't know. And I mean, we could have a whole other topic on that because we've been talking about middle-aged white men. Like y'all been doing this for a long time because I'm the one at work who like
don't get me started.
I be super relaxed. I stay to myself, but like everyone makes a joke. I'm not really friendly at work. Like the way I am typically with like around people, I'm not like that. I'm just like, I sit in my desk, I get my work done.
I'm here to get my work done and I make friends.
Literally. But like the people I work with, they're cool, but like y'all are distracting. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone wants to talk, chop it up, and like, yeah, I'm charismatic. So like I'm gonna talk. I'm just like, I don't want to talk to y'all. So the biggest joke is like, yeah, Spencer, like you're not much for words, but when you get in front of a customer, like you in your bag, I'm like, yeah, I'm like this all the time. I just
ain't that the point? To get the customer, get the bag.
Right. But like some people, I know a dude who comes to work every day, button up, slack shoes every day. And like I don't know. Maybe it's like Deion Sanders' point, like look good, feel good, play good.
But I feel good in the shit that I wear. That's
the point. Yeah. So
yeah.
So like if you feel good, like that's all subjective and relative. Like shoot. I think we do base a lot of things on perspective, but I mean, that's just the world we live in. Like, no shade, but...
You started... My bad.
Nah, actually, yeah, you cut me off because I'll get go. I was going to go left.
You started to hit on something, and I want to eventually circle back to something that Ash was saying, but...
wrap around.
You just brought up a point of, like, how you're at work, and folks be like, oh... Like, you don't really talk to us. And I think another don't that I had to learn the hard way, and y'all already know what I'm going to say, is mixing the personal and the professional. And sometimes it is hard because when you spend, like me, right? During the summer, there's 11 of us that work together. Only 11 of us. And we're together all day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard for personal not to... sip into that, right? But you still, when working, have to kind of set those boundaries because then sometimes shit happens. I get in trouble at work. My principal got to do her job and come down on me, which never happens. But, you know.
I'm the perfect employee.
But now I'm mad because I was like, yo, I thought we was cool. But you still got to do your job.
So that goes back to what Ash said earlier, is about the culture that leadership puts in place, and I got a point for this. Yeah, I'm gonna let most of y'all know, like 90% of y'all who are in management positions, who are in positions of power, y'all aren't leaders at all.
Like it's a small percentage.
Yeah, y'all are not leaders. Y'all are put in this position probably because you were a good individual contributor.
You know somebody.
You probably know somebody.
The only one that probably was qualified.
Yeah, like maybe you got your little college education, you know everything.
Right, got 2 degrees, you know everything now.
But like a lot of y'all are not leaders. Y'all don't embody what it takes to be a leader. And this is why y'all cultures at work suck. This is why your people don't respect you. This is why your managers under you don't respect you, which means, and shit rolls downhill. So like, if they don't respect you, they also have no guidance and no leadership on where we're going, right? So now you have...
Just the blind leading the blind.
Right. So now these managers who are like overqualified task managers are now putting these tasks on their people because their manager's cussing them out because they're not a leader. They're just like, hey, I'm looking at these numbers. This is what we need. I need you to do them. Well, how do I do it? Well, if I need to show you how to do it, like, what do I need you for? Negro, what? Like, do you know what a leader is? Like, y'all need to tap into Adam Grant. Y'all need to tap into Simon Sinek, Brené Brown. Like, actually, if you're going to be in these positions, like, I take it very seriously. It's like coaching, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to be in this position to impact people, like, you really need to take it seriously and, like, be able to effectively do that. Because if not, you're going to get an employee like me who's not going to respect you, and you're never going to be able to lead me.
And you got to be ready to lead by example, right?
Right.
Part of my thing with coaching, there's times that I will get on the refs, partially because I don't fuck with any refs. But the second part is I've got to
looking like a zebra in that shirt.
That's it, right? I got to let my players know that no matter who we're going against, whether it's the AD, another coach, the referee, I got your back.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I'm going to go to bat for you. Now, on the flip side of that, if I'm yelling at the ref, let me yell at the ref. You don't go yelling at no ref.
Right,
you get what I'm saying?
Let me take that heat, and
because that's a leader. Hey, I'll take the brunt of it to make y'all jobs easier.
And with that comes trust, which comes to the thing that you were talking about of like the well-oiled machine.
Right.
Because if my players don't trust me, they're not working hard. They're not listening to the game plan. And that's just in a sport metaphor that could relay to any other business. But it is one of those things of like, we were saying relatability, trust, really going out there and showing like, hey, I'm out here with y'all. You know, even in speaking to the students, I still tell the students all the time, if you right, I'm going to go to bat for you. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But at the end of the day, that conversation is still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of these leaders or folk think, and this is just my problem with authority in general.
I got this role, so you got to listen to me.
Nah.
At all.
Because guess what? I'm a human before I'm a BT.
And you might be you might be more qualified than your manager or leader or whatever. Like,
right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see I struck a nerve. My bad.
What? Yeah.
It gets the people going.
Yeah. No facts, because I could talk about that for days, especially at my last job. But we not gonna talk about that. But I think like going back to that last point and talking about the mixing of the do's and the don't, I think that dealing with that internal struggle of like not trying to mix business and personal, there is a balance that you can still be successful with a little give and take of both and still not feel like you always have to give so much of yourself to this job when you in the back of your head and internally you're just like, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about these people. I don't give a damn about this place because they don't truly give a damn about me. And I think how I have navigated those spaces, I think I've learned to share little tidbits of myself that isn't something that technically like is a lie. I mean, shoot, if you feel uncomfortable in a space that you really don't relate with these people and you are trying to relate just to kind of get through that moment, lie. Just lie. I told people like
y'all not my real friends.
Right, like lie. Like who's clocking you about if this information is correct or not? Like just lie if you need to. But if you also feel comfortable sharing a little tidbit, do that too.
Little
like
breadcrumbs.
Yeah, like just a little breadcrumb. But like I'm still not giving you my entire whole life story. Like you still don't know who I am. I'm still that girl that sits across from you at the cubicle, and I'm in between my other two cohort friends, in between those cubicle spaces. Like I'm just me doing me, because like I have a sticker about my podcast on one of my desks, And one of my coworkers, they asked me like what it was. And I was like, oh, take it. They're like, what is it? I was like, it's my podcast sticker. Scan the QR code, listen to it. Let me know if you like it.
Right.
And like, boom, I just gave you a tidbit about myself. But you also still don't know everything about me. And like, that's where you have to learn to like give and take a little. But I think if we're going to call a spade, I truly feel like in these very much white spaces, they don't fully know how to separate the personal from the business, because a lot of our white counterparts feel like they always need to overshare so much about themselves to then be relatable to other people. Because I was talking to one of my friends, I was talking to Gabby about this, because she was saying that she had a similar experience to that. Then I'm just like, yeah, like I don't understand why certain people, and you can tell too, like when it's also very like disingenuous and the person's just like trying really hard to find something to be relatable to you with, when it's just like, we could have both just laughed at the same joke and kept it pushing.
And kept it moving.
Like, we didn't have to continue like trying to force a conversation or do any of these things. And not to say like there aren't genuine conversations that do happen, maybe through some oversharing, but I just am here to tell all my Black and brown people, like, don't feel like you have to overshare yourself in order to feel like that's the only way like you're going to be able to fit in this like work community and workspace, because that alone should tell you right there and then that leader or leadership is not driving an effective force to create a community where you can feel comfortable to still be yourself and not feel like you have to mix the two.
Yeah, and I know it's corporate in general, but I know for Verizon and like my org, majority of the leadership teams suffer from this disease of like, they love to hear themselves talk. And they start talking in circles, and it's just like, you're losing impact from like, you could have made this a 5-minute, very impactful meeting with like an email follow-up and like a call to action. But no, you wanted to make this meeting go the whole 45 minutes. You wanted to have it do a roundabout. Like, all the information that was said in the beginning of the meeting is now lost. And you done did so much talking in circles that you done lost all impact of what the message that you wanted to drive. And then when we circle back in a week, like, hey, also, like, we talked about this. Yeah, well, we talked about a lot. Okay?
Right. Like, at what focus point did you want me to focus on? Because we've talked about 5 million focus points. Ooh, that's a deep Negro spiritual sigh for me.
Yeah.
Because that used to happen all the time at my last job. And one biggest like tidbit that I love about this new space is they respect your time. We're not continuing and dragging out things. If we've already covered it, there's no extra questions. Everyone understands it. And even if you don't, you want to have a sidebar to make sure you properly understand what was said in that huddle, then you go schedule that one-on-one.
See,
but like they respect your time, and they say, okay, we are ending 10 minutes early. I'm going to give you back 10 minutes of your time. Thank you.
Verizon,
thank you for giving me back my time. It is not supposed to be wasted.
Verizon does not. And let me like tell you, and I got no problem saying this. I got put on performance improvement plan, right?
Oh yeah, you told me about this yesterday.
And one of the things was like, I didn't sell a certain amount of smartphones within like a 2-month span. Like, I sold a bunch of other things, right? But smartphones, I fell short. So like, hey, if you didn't sell a certain amount of smartphones, you have to go to this training. It's like every Monday at 2:00 for 4 weeks. When I tell you, this training hasn't talked about how to sell smartphones more effectively once. And I wasn't there last week.
That reminds me of my first job.
And I was sick on Monday, so I wasn't there. So then she called on me this previous week. She was just like, oh yeah, Spencer, so like based on last week, like, how about this? I was like, oh, I wasn't here last week. She was like, oh, you didn't watch the recording? I was like, no, I didn't watch an hour-long recording outside of this time. You thought I was going to go back and watch an hour-long recording of you who don't sell, who don't know how to position, like, you've never been in the field and in the trenches.
Implying that he should have also watched it outside of payable work hours.
Well, I'm salary. So.
That's like showing up.
It still don't matter.
That's like showing up to coach me, a soccer player in basketball uniform.
Bro,
To your point earlier,
bro. So like they in like even our onboarding, like we had to do a 30-day onboarding, and one of the persons was a salesperson years ago, far removed, and they're just giving us like best helps, and they didn't teach you how to do anything about. Other than, hey, bookmark this, bookmark this, bookmark this. These could be good references for you.
a lot of the
One
times,
thing I will say about this job, they actually talk the talk and walk the walk about onboarding.
Must
like
be nice.
they've broken down a year-long onboarding into like
she said 2 hours.
separate phases.
Oh,
But yeah, like that.
One-
I could resonate with that because my first job was like that. They also put me on a performance review because I wasn't making a certain quota of cases. Mind you, they were switching me around to different areas, and I was also getting a lot of families who didn't want the services. So I'm like, I'm literally getting like 20 cases, and out of those 20, I'm probably getting like 3 who actually want to continue services and 3 who are requesting to get like removed out of the services. And once they've requested, like, we can't force the services. Our services are technically voluntary. So I was like, this don't make no sense. And I had the same issue too. The training I was supposed to be doing to learn how to better be a coordinator, the training wasn't helpful specifically for my department. It was a generalistic training for like anyone in the company that was under a performance review.
But a lot of those times, those trainings are just justifications for HR or higher ups.
Right, to see like what was your
make them-
action plan.
Not even that, to make themselves feel better about getting paid.
yes.
Like a lot of those PDs don't have shit to do with nothing. You ain't gonna learn nothing. It's just here. I gotta justify my job, so I'm gonna make Spencer go sit in this 1 hour fucking thing twice a month. Like, you know?
Literally. Yeah, no, I just posted this the other day on my Instagram notes. Like, there's a lot of wasted money in corporate. Like, there are people's roles who are, their job is to help me do my job better. Bro, like, respectfully, y'all could get rid of them and just pay me more. Like, because they're not closing anything for me. And like, and that's a whole nother thing. But it's just like, I'd much rather you actually,
and another thing.
no, I'd much rather you invest in like proper training, give me more information than I need, and let me do my thing, as opposed to, hey, I'm just gonna give you enough to be dangerous, and you know, just bring in partners and other people to help you.
Yeah, nah, that
Yeah.
ain't it. Well, shit.
Just the backwardsness.
Listen to us and you won't get fired. You will keep your job, progress, and let me not say that shit, because then someone gonna get fired and then try and sue us. And
Like, you said I want to get fired.
Nah, man. I think like if you get fired,
you
and
deserved it.
not saying that you deserved it, but I think people get fired for the right reasons and also the wrong reasons, and you gotta figure out which reasons are those. Or, you know, be like me and just be petty and have the first word first and say I quit.
There you go.
Can't fire me if I quit. And that's all.
Yeah, but then you don't get unemployment.
Yeah, you do.
If you
Connecticut
quit,
quits and fires for sure.
So make sure you check your
Because
state
I was
laws.
literally gonna say after like, and you still get unemployment.
Yeah, but luckily, you know, I've been able to quit and go right to the next thing, next bag.
talk that talk.
Like that.
Well, shit, we've been chopping it up a little over an hour now. This shit fun. Welcome to Late Night Love. This was a great episode.
I was like, Linda, is that you?
This is a great episode of how not to get fired, how to progress and find your passion through work.
I'm calling in from Danbury Penitentiary.
Positive. I just had a question for Spencer.
I was gonna say, Cheryl, I love you. I'm
I know
coming
you
home
ain't visited
soon.
me in a while, but I'm coming.
I'm sorry.
I
That's,
hope that baby got my nose.
that's wild.
Hey, yo.
Shady. Shit, 15 seconds of fame time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Word.
Dinner time.
And then it's hot. Like, I'm burning up.
I'm surprised I'm not hot because I feel like I get hot quick too.
Yeah, it's hot. But yeah, with that, you know, don't settle for a job. Like, I know there's certain things, and I'll speak to that specifically. Certain things you got to do as a means to an end, right? Like, you may be down on your luck. You may have certain skills that you know you can monetize and capitalize on, but it might not be your passion or like your quote unquote career. So, you know, take your time to find your passion project. You know, it's a beautiful thing to wake up every morning and be happy to go to work and like get your day started. And I know a lot of us are probably miserable when we wake up because we got to go and do the same thing, deal with the same problems, solve the same issues, and then wake up and do it all over again. So I challenge everybody, find out what you're passionate about and go for it.
Period. Okay. So you're trying to come on strong with the gems.
I felt that in my soul.
But I am the master of the gems.
Okay, Thanos.
Wow.
Right. Speaking of Thanos real quick, I've been seeing a lot of trailers for the Thunderbolts.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Oh, okay. That's supposed to, I guess, supposed to be like the not knockoff version, but technically the Avengers were gone.
They're the new Avengers.
Yeah, they're their new Avengers because Thanos.
Nah, but they came back. Oh, my bad. For anyone who hasn't seen Endgame.
No. It's on TNT every other week. Fuck out of here.
Oh, is it really?
If you have not watched The Avengers, get the fuck on. Nah, no.
Anywho, following that note, my 15 seconds of fame is stay true to you because only you got you. And if you think somebody else got you, they don't because you got you. And no one's going to have you like you.
Yo, what Lauryn Hill song did you take that from?
Period. That's it. And if you didn't fully take that in, rewind it back to an hour 15 and 26 seconds, and then listen to it all from there to right now.
I got comments off camera for that.
Well,